guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Allie, and today I have mainly book reviews for you guys. You see, I set out to participate in SUMMERWEEN, hosted by Gabby Reads. Like I do every year, I participate in Winterween and in SUMMERWEEN, and this year for SUMMERWEEN, I dropped the ball, and I'm not gonna lie, SUMMERWEEN is always so rocky for me because we have the 4th of July right before, and then we have my husband's birthday, so we're usually doing something for that, and just so many things for some reason pop up around SUMMERWEEN that I have such a hard time participating in the first place. But this year I was like, I'm not gonna put the extra stress on myself right now, but I will still do some type of SUMMERWEEN video. So for my SUMMERWEEN take, I'm going to show you guys little glimpses into my summer with B-roll. And in between that, I'm going to review some short stories, horror, of course, that I have been reading this summer. You may remember last year, the year before, I can't even remember at this point, I did a video, I believe anyways, my brain is slowly just tumbling into a blank, but I read Creature Feature from Amazon, their like exclusive little collection, one October, and it had a bunch of my favorite authors featured, and it was just incredible. There was like a werewolf, a devil type entity, so many different things. I actually created looks. I actually think I have a whole video with looks. So yeah, check that out if you want to. Maybe not, it might be cringe. It's been a minute. All of this to say, I love when Amazon does these little exclusives. They're so cool. You can get them on your Kindle, or you can have the audiobooks, which is what I went with this time around. I have been listening to these day to day, and they're just quick little palate cleansers, but also just like little hidden gems because they're always so good. It's always so hard for me to come up with some type of video concept around these, so I thought that they would be perfect for my SUMMERWEEN reads. If I participate in SUMMERWEEN, or if I just did this type of concept, because I feel like I can hit all of those SUMMERWEEN prompts at the same time with these. Listening to an audiobook, reading horror, or maybe reading in the dark, because you can read it on your Kindle or you can just listen to it. There are short stories, and I have some more favorite authors that are featured in the newest one called The Shivers. They are, I believe, 5 stories, and I loved all of them. I can't wait to talk about all of them with you guys and give my little thoughts and reviews. This will be non-spoilery as much as possible. I have to say something for a review, but it's really hard to say a whole lot about short stories without giving too much away, so I am going to try my best. But I wanted to highlight these with you, and thought this would be the best way to do it with having some entertaining B-roll, because I don't have the physical to like hold up and show you guys. And with that, if you want to skip this, just hit the timestamps down below. But I have a small little rant, because although I can appreciate Kindle for on the go and everyday life, and so many people use it and love it, I typically don't. I like a physical book or an audiobook. I appreciate that you can get these. You can buy them separately, or you can buy them as a collection on Audible all together. So tip, in case you buy one of them at a time or use a credit on each one, they're short stories, so just buy them together as the Shivers collection for 1 credit or for 1 book. That is what I did. All the narrators were absolutely great, phenomenal. But I so wish I could have the Creature Feature, the Shivers, and even other collections that they've done like this that I haven't gotten to yet in actual physical form. So I've been on a mission. My friend recently let me borrow her bookbinding tools, and I have been on the hunt all summer looking at thrift shops, used bookstores, yard sales for small hardback books that I can just tear apart and get rid of, just so I can use the actual like book itself as like an, you know, book terms. What are the words? I just need the spine and the actual book itself, and I will be formatting and printing out the pages of these stories. And it might sound weird because I am going to have to take these pages from the Kindle on Amazon and take the pages and format them and then print them. But these are all for my personal use. I am not selling them. I just want to have a physical copy of them because I love them. So it's kind of like a little collector's item, if you will, but also a craft. And I'm excited because a yard sale over the weekend, I found little books that I think will work. They might still be too big, but I think this is honestly probably the smallest I'm gonna get with hardbacks. So I have some to work with. Am I gonna get to it in this video? Maybe. I might start some of the formatting, but like, I don't see the finished product being in this video, so don't wait around for that. That's all I'm saying. Maybe in a future video, but again, this is a learning process for me. I don't know how to bind books and do all of that. This is all learning experience, but all of that to say, these are the stories that have been on my mind to start this process. So that's why I'm mentioning it. But without further ado, welcome to my summer. Happy Summerween. I hope it was a great one for you, and let's get into this. First up, we have Night and Day in Misery by Catriona Ward. First of all, I love Catriona Ward. I actually have a video dedicated to some of her books, if you guys want to check that out, to kind of see my taste in her books and which ones I kind of leaned more towards, or my ranking of how I prefer them. But secondly, Night and Day in Misery, she is referring to Missouri. How dare she? I am currently in Missouri. I am from Missouri and live in Missouri, and it definitely gets the name Misery from some of its people. The majority. But Missouri is a beautiful place. I will just say that. It is beautiful. It just, I mean, obviously it's gonna have its ugly places and it's gonna have its nasty people, but isn't that everywhere? Anyways, this is about a grieving mother who books a stay in a hotel room. That was the last hotel and last room her husband and son stayed in before they both died. This is kind of like her grieving and trying to have this getaway moment of it kind of being a therapeutic release, but also check your triggers because this does involve with her wanting to unalive herself, but then having this ghostly, paranormal, supernatural moment happen to her that triggers her back to what happened to them. It is dark, it's sad, still overall a really good story, and I gave it 3 stars. Is the Indigo Room by Stephen Graham Jones, and once again I have a video dedicated to Stephen Graham Jones. I've read a lot of his work, not all of it, but quite a bit, and I actually have some more coming up that I'm going to be reading. I'm a huge Stephen Graham Jones fan. I love the Angel of Indian Lake trilogy the most. I also love Mongrels. It's really hard for me to not vibe with a Stephen Graham Jones book. And with that being said, this story did not feel like a Stephen Graham Jones story. It just didn't really sit completely with me. I didn't vibe with it as much as some of the others here. This is about office politics, and I think that from the get-go is just kind of like a, you know, for me, because I'm just not interested. But then it picks up. We have this character that we're following, and she's in this work meeting, and it's kind of like a flicker of the light, and when she looks up, one of her colleagues are headless. It's kind of like, is it a trick, or is this kind of like a vision, almost like a premonition vibe that you get throughout the story. The story as a whole, I feel like didn't pull together for me in a way that would have landed me at a 5-star. It had its creepy, little disturbing ways that he describes things, which I do love, and it reminded me a little bit of the Night of the Mannequin. And I did like that, but again, the overall story plot where it went, I landed at a 3-star with this one.
Selfish, I might be fucked down, bracing for the calm down. I know I can't sleep with what I found. It's all I think about. I miss my mind, can you take it on? How loud can I get with the megaphone? Take 5 1 sec, can we pull it off? Can't catch my breath, I can't feel anymore. Don't need your anesthetic, I'll just push record. That's all I'm good for.
The next one was Jackknife by Joe Hill. It's about Dennis Lang. He is a author, but is like canceled. He's pretty much canceled. Like, there's a scandal, he was canceled for it, now he's trying to bring his comeback. This one has like an evilness to it. He finds this jackknife in this tree, and it's almost like he becomes so infatuated by this jackknife and wanting to free it from the tree, then becomes almost like a cursed story in a way, where you just really have this really unlikable character who is on the path of destruction, and you're just waiting for karma to come back and bite him in the ass type of vibe. It reminded me a lot of his father's writing, Stephen King. Stephen King, for me, if you guys have been around, you know, I love me a Stephen King story, but I usually hate me a Stephen King character. And I'm always ready for that revenge plot that's gonna get that character back. And I feel like Joe Hill did a really good job with this story. Although not a perfect 5 for me, I did land at 4 stars. The next one is The Blanks by Grady Hendrix. I got to meet Grady Hendrix this year, which was really, really cool. You guys can check out my whole vlog reading his newest, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, and it's the vlog where I got to go and see him and meet him. It was such a cool experience, and I have really loved his work over the years. I'm always down to read a story from Grady Hendrix, especially a little short story. I knew it was gonna be good. This is about Jekyll Island. It's a chance to spend summers roaming wild and free, as long as they follow the rules. When Rachel's son comes face to face with a terror they dare not speak of, she must prepare for their perfect world to change forever. This is giving me so many different vibes. It almost gives The Village, because you have this secluded island where they come for the summertime, they have to stay for a certain amount of time, and it's like a known pact, like we avoid these certain cares. Like, without giving anything away, like, we avoid these certain things. You don't look at them, you don't speak about them, we don't talk about them, but we're here to have a good time. And it's almost just like also showing like one of those stories where like the rich get what's coming to them, because it's like, why are you so stupid? Like, you want all the lavish things, but not the consequences. And it's heart-wrenching at the same time. Like, I was gutted at this story, but it was so scary and entertaining and just silly. I love when Grady Hendrix brings the silly into horror, and it's everything that I wanted from the short story. He did a phenomenal job with it. 5 stars. Such a good time. If you read any of them, read this one.
Left and you never show over attachment. Can you even let shit go? Over obsessive about right now. I don't think it's the best thing for this summer. Loving you if you want it, cause you never tell me nothing. Love you if you want it, you can kill me if I'm bluffing. Would you love me for the best of my days? If you knew every time I lied just by the look on my face. Oh, it's a minute love song.
And the last one was Letter Slot by Owen King. This is actually my first story ever read by Owen King. And not one to like to compare them, but you do see the familiar writing style of Joe Hill and Stephen King and Owen King's work. Even though I did just listen to the audiobook, the vibes as a King book was there. The cost of living keeps rising and it collects payment from the soul. This is about a boy whose mother's health is failing. He's just a teenager who is struggling. He's worrying about his mother, and he ends up writing this all out into a letter. He drops it in the mail slot of this abandoned show house that people have talked about, only to get a response. Promises of a good future, of things changing in his benefit, for him to sell out and tell this entity, being whoever he's writing to, pretty much giving them a name of someone you hate. He would do anything for his mother, so he continues to write. It's a well done story of giving you those creepy vibes. Yes, it's been done before, but it's just such a fun time, and not knowing what you're writing to and not knowing what the full price in the end is going to be really keeps that suspense there. And for my first Owen King, I had a really great time with this one. Landed at 4 stars.
No, we don't need to be one. No, we don't need to be one. They're like, oh, there you go again. Are we more than friends? I know we can make this work. 20 missed calls, oh yeah, no shit, no problem, baby. Please don't hit my phone, I'm in bed. Let me spiral in the hole till I'm dead. Was it something that I said? If I wasn't really sorry, I get caught up in my head. Cause you put me in your plans, had to lay it in my bed. Reminiscing about the time I wasn't lonely, but I am. Can you waste my time instead? Would you love me for the rest of my days? If you knew every time I lied just by the look on my face. Oh, it's a minute love song that we play in your nissan. No, we don't need to be one. No, we don't need to be one. Sorry about that text you got, I didn't ever mean to send it. Told you got me in my feelings, also forgot to correct. And I've been doing fine except the stabbing pain up in my chest. And I'm stuttering, yeah, I'm done. But now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing or miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it don't sleep. Gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing or miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it don't sleep. Summer days, don't miss your taste. Out in the crawl space, wanna break, still see your face. I just don't wanna be a missing case, walking in place. Keep up in my pace, stay awake, stay awake. That's what they all say. I'm shot, really hard, what you wanna scream about? I start metaphor, cause you wanna bite back, know you got
talk about?
What you tryna get at? Lyrical on the boat, miss my RT. Hit 'em all like a joke, man, it's all I fear. Catch 'em all, fuck 'em all, it's a bright idea. Never heard a ringtone, but now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing them, miss you with my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it's don't sleep. Gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing them, miss you with my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it's don't sleep. Those summer days I don't miss your taste, but summer nights fall on my face. It's alcohol without all the chase. I get away without a heartbreak. You in the city, you're out of state. Chase you from out, but can't keep up pace. I left your backpack with your phone on the staircase.
I don't wanna hold you up all night. Trying to get a hold of this, shoulder this. Say whatever you like. Wanna get through this night alive. Tired of shifting side to side. Always on edge and now shit bad. You need to ride till you get back. Yeah. Someone stay a while. Give me all your attention, shapeshifter. This is all it all.
Give me all your attention, shapeshifter.
All in all, I had 2 3 stars, 2 4 stars, and 1 5 star. My favorite is The Blanks by Grady Hendrix. It was such a good time, and also happy to say, besides loving the Shivers collection, I also had a pretty great summer. It's been pretty chill. We got a semi-big, kind of smaller pool that's perfect for the boys, and we've been grilling. We had some fireworks to celebrate summer. We've been watching horror movies to celebrate SUMMERWEEN, and it's just been overall a really good time. I hope that you guys had a great summer. Still some left of it, but not too much longer, and I'm so excited for fall. Like, I'm just like, summer, get out of here. But I hope you guys had a great summer, and I hope that you got to celebrate a little bit of SUMMERWEEN, bring the spooky vibes in. And if you have read any of these from the Shivers collection, please let me know which one was your favorite. I'd love to know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.
Look at me,